Welcome to the Valdez Family Homestead, and thank you so much for joining me here today. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing because we have extraordinary content coming your way, such as this. There is tons of questions circulating over chickens, whether you should get chickens, how hard is it to raise chickens, and what does it take to raise a chicken. So today I just wanted to go over my top 10 that I think are the most highly asked questions about chickens. So let's go ahead and get into this. And we are going to try to get into this as quick as possible. I'm going to try to go through these top 10 with you because, as you can see behind me, it is super cloudy here where we live in Texas. We are under tornado watch until about 11:30 Central Time, and we've been under watch since about 12 o'clock today, and I can start to feel the rain here, so I need to get in this video for you guys. Just wanted to get you some helpful information out there. So I got in the chicken run here with the chickens because it is starting to sprinkle out there, and it's getting a little heavier as we go on. Let's get into number one. Believe it or not, a lot of people have this question: can chickens provide eggs to your family without having a rooster present? The answer is yes. You do not need a rooster for your chickens to lay eggs and give you those beautiful eggs. And I do apologize if it is windy because, like I said, it is starting to rain here and we're under a very heavy thunderstorm. But to answer that question again, you do need a rooster if you are trying to get fertile eggs. So if you're trying to incubate babies, get some more chickens on your homestead, not just for providing food for your family, but if you want to raise more chickens. Another question that comes about, of course, if you're raising hens, is how many eggs will they produce for me a day? That depends on many circumstances, such as the breed of chicken. So some chickens were bred to provide as much eggs as possible, so that's where we get some of these mixed breeds, such as the Isa Brown, which is the chicken that I have. So these breeds were bred to be egg laying hens. So those types of birds are not a multi-purpose bird, so they're not a meat bird. They hardly have any meat on them. They weigh roughly anywhere from 5 to 5.5 pounds. And so the sole purpose for that bird is to lay eggs. On average, those hens lay about 300 to 350 eggs a year. For a healthy chicken, expect about 4 to 5 eggs in a week's time. Now, there are other breeds out there, of course, that are dual purpose birds. So you have the ones that are meat birds and egg laying hens. And those birds sometimes will drop drastically in the egg production that they can produce for you. On average, those types of birds, such as the barred rock, will give you on average about 200 eggs a year. So that's a big difference. If I'm talking a jump from 200 to 300 eggs, that is a big jump. If you are looking for the sole purpose of a bird laying you several eggs, you want to kind of do the math on how many family members you have on your homestead and go from that. The number 3 question that a lot of people tend to ask when raising chickens is how long can a chicken live? And that all depends on how you shield your chickens from predators and natural causes that could come to your chicken's demise. Now, on average, a chicken will live approximately 8 years, but a chicken can live anywhere from 8 to 15 years. Now, you'll get lucky to get a bird that's going to live that long due to natural causes and things that happen that are unpreventable. But as long as you take care of your bird, shield them from predators, you will have a long-lasting, healthy bird. Another highly asked question about chickens is how much care do chickens need? Now, to be completely honest, a chicken is going to be easier than any house animal such as a dog or a cat, as long as you provide them the right housing, the right amount of feed, and giving them clean water. So caring for a chicken is very simple in layman's terms. So just make sure to provide your birds with a clean environment, a safe coop away from predators, and making sure each and every day that throughout the day that they have a good amount of water and clean water as well as food. So we had to move this party to the inside because, as I had mentioned, the rain made its way to us, and so it just started pouring and hailing. So we moved this party to the inside to finish out this video. Let's go ahead and finish up number 4. We were talking about how easy is it to care for the chickens. And so my last advice is cleaning their coop and making sure your chickens have a very clean coop. You want to clean it out every 1 to 2 weeks. There are different methods to do this. A lot of people like going with the deep litter method, especially if you're going to be using that litter for compost. And so there's plenty of ways to keep it clean, just depending on what method you're going with. Do thorough research and see which method works best for you. Now, getting to a deep cleanse of the chicken coop, you want to do this roughly twice a year, just getting everything out, cleaning it all out, making sure it's disinfected so you don't get any parasites in there or any mites. You want to keep this fairly clean, especially depending on the size of your chicken coop and how many chickens you have. Another top question is, how much do chickens cost? Now, this can be a variety of different pricing, especially depending on the breed of chicken you're looking to get. Now, due to inflation times, birds have gone up in price as everything else. So if I was speaking on average back then, like 3 years ago, your birds would cost in average anywhere from $1 to $5. Now I've seen how different hatcheries still have those same pricing, but they limit the quantity of how many birds you're getting. Now, if you just went into your local feed store that provides with chickens, you are not able just to purchase 1 bird. Now they're making you purchase in a minimum of 4. I just went to a local feed store the other day, and they're roughly going to be around $5. So there's no more of that below $5 bird that you can get. It's going to be above that price. Now, if you're going to purchase your birds from a hatchery, especially if they're vaccinating them and doing certain things with those birds, they're going to cost more, and then they're going to charge you on top of that shipping fees. So it does vary. Now, if you just want an egg-laying hen, the typical breed that everyone's getting out there, those birds don't tend to cost very much. Now, if you want some rare breeds that aren't really for egg-laying, but just to add some color to your flock, those birds can start anywhere from $20 and go on up, even close to the $100 range. So just do your research on what type of bird you're wanting. Bringing us to number 6. What does it take to raise these new baby chicks? So I do have a separate video that you can go check out on the channel that I kind of went more into depth what I was giving my chicks, what supplies I needed. You can go check out that video on the channel now, but I'm just gonna give you a quick run through on what it takes to raise baby chicks. So for about 4 weeks, the space where they're living, they need to at least have a temperature of 95 degrees where they can keep warm. This can be anywhere from a heat lamp. Now, on my video, I did talk about getting a safer poultry brooder depending on how many chicks you are getting for your homestead or your backyard chickens. A brooder where they can get underneath and it stays a certain temperature without having to worry about fires or killing your chicks with too much heat. And so you can go check out these brooders. They do sell them on multiple places online. But if you are getting more than, say, 10 chicks, you will need to be looking into a heat lamp for the source of their main heat. Also, you want to make sure they have a safe area that they can grow up in before transitioning them into their new area. I, of course, do suggest doing more research when getting new baby chicks, just to see what works best for some people. There is a lot of false information going out there of different colored eggs are healthier than others. This is not true. The taste on your eggs and the health that you're getting from your eggs depends on, of course, how your chickens are raised. Research shows if your chickens are freely roaming your yard and foraging for items, the eggs tend to be higher in omega-3 fatty acids and lower in cholesterol, so giving you a healthier egg. Not to say that your chickens have to be free ranging all the time to give you a healthier egg, because you just raising chickens on your homestead in your backyard, you are going to have a much healthier egg than going out to the grocery store and picking up eggs. Also, making sure your chickens are provided with much calcium in their diet will determine the hardness of the egg. So chickens need the calcium. You can get it in oyster shell form. They do sell it in your feed stores, so look into that. Also, another thing you can do that is very health beneficial to your chickens is crushing up their eggshells and feeding it back to them when you're giving them table scraps. Just to finish out number 8, the more orange the yolk is, the healthier and better tasting your eggs are going to be. Getting to number 9, this is more of people thinking this and not really asking the questions. Do raising chickens in your own backyard save you money? The simple answer is a straightforward no. Raising chickens in your backyard is not gonna save you money. Don't run out and go get chickens thinking you're gonna save tons of money and then they're just gonna produce you tons of eggs a day that you're not only gonna be able to provide for your family, but sell eggs on the side and make money in return. Especially raising chickens for the first time, you're gonna need to buy them a coop, you're gonna need to get them a run. There's tons of things that you'll need to purchase in order to get started. So you're gonna be out of pocket quite a bit of money before you even might break even with raising chickens. But not to say or to put it down to make you not wanna get chickens, because there are tons of benefits, as I stated before, that raising chickens in your own backyard is going to be beneficial to you and your homestead. First, you're going to have much healthier eggs raising chickens in your own backyard. You get farm fresh eggs every day. You're going to have wonderful birds building memories with you and your family on your homestead. Actually, studies show that spending times with chickens can actually lower your stress as well. So just do your research prior to purchasing chickens, but know it is not going to be cheaper raising chickens on your own, getting eggs, and just going out to the supermarket purchasing eggs. Now, getting to the final number on the list, number 10, are chickens noisy? So if we're talking about roosters, oh my goodness, let's not even go there, because you should know roosters are the morning call. They're gonna wake you up. They're gonna be very noisy, and you might wanna look in your area if you're even allowed to have roosters. Not to say that hens are quiet, but they're much quieter. When your hens are gonna be the noisiest is when they are producing eggs, laying those eggs. They tend to be a little bit loud. So most of the time your hens are going to be making a soothing sound. If you go look up chicken videos, you'll hear the noises they make when they are mature chickens. But when it comes time to lay eggs is when they are at their noisiest. So if you live in the city, the suburbs, I want to give you advice. I probably wouldn't get a rooster, but I would still look at your HOA rules or wherever you're living in the city to see if hens are allowed and how many you're allowed up to, because they do limit sometimes on how many chickens you can raise in your backyard. I urge you guys, if you're new to raising chickens, to do your research and look into it. And I will tell you, it is a blast raising chickens. You want to look into chicken math because it is definitely a thing. We have 5. I'm lucky to say that we still only have 5. We've been into some feed stores and have seen some day-old baby chicks there, and we've gotten this close to making another purchase. Like I said, they do limit you right now on how many you can purchase, so I would be with 9 birds right now if I hadn't put my foot down and my wife gave me the backbone to say, yeah, no, we don't need 4 more chickens right now. But yes, chicken math is a thing. and you'll somehow start with 4 birds, but then at the end, close to the end of the year, have 20 birds. So hopefully this information was useful to you. I am learning each and every day as well. So not only learning day by day raising my own chickens in my backyard, in my homestead, but as well as learning off of others what they have had issues with and how they have corrected them. I've already come into issues like that as well, and so I've learned from my own mistakes, and that's how I believe we tend to learn the best, is just learning from your own mistakes on how to make those things better. But once again, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the Valdez Family Homestead. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up on your way out. But until the next one, see you guys later.